At this stage, we'll move into open forum. I'd like to remind the folks that are coming to speak to us that we have a 4-minute time limit, and I'm asking you to please self-regulate so I won't end up being the overt. The first person we have for open forum is Barbara Mayo.
Good evening, President, Vice President, Council members, and staff. Barbara Mayo, 3011 Windermere, Pensacola 32503. I'm coming today. I feel that it's a good report. I learned something this last week. With good reports, we could all use a little CAR, which is commitment, accountability, and resolve. So with that, I'm going to go into the 4-cent sales tax that we got at Escambia County. And, you know, we've been pushing for that for a long time. It really didn't go the way I wanted it to, but I'm not a commissioner, but hopefully down the road we will see some relief on our property taxes and just have it go to the gas tax. I'm asking that, that the City Council remember that the 4-cent tax, the 4-cent gas tax that part that comes to the city remain with the Escambia County Area Transit System. That's the reason the tax was created, and I think that's where it needs to stay. I do, however, feel there needs to be some accountability from the management. We need to hold them accountable for new routes, for routes that are express routes, downtown to the mall, to the base, to the beach, and we need to not just give them more money, but work with what you've got and make it more efficient so that more people will be using that. Also, in that, I would like to ask you, I did go to the County Commission, and I'm asking that we please get back, before we got this new form of government, we did have 4 joint city-county meetings a year. And since we've got the new charter, we've only had 1, maybe 1.5. I think the second one didn't last too long. But I'm asking that with the fresh, new elected officials, we have new monies coming into our town. Our town is doing great. Mayor's doing great. So let's get together as a community, the city and the county, and work toward the common goal and make sure this money's used effectively, wisely for the citizens, and let's all get along and at least have a meeting quarterly. I think with all this money coming in, that you need to be communicating with each other, the county commission and the city council, because you are elected representatives. So I would really appreciate that y'all maybe get that on the agenda, or work with getting it the first of the year, since we're starting in January. Perfect time for starting it quarterly. So thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Mayo. Next is Lisa Watkins. Following Ms. Watkins will be Cher Poster.
Hey, it's Liz Watkins, 2019 Augusta Avenue. I'm not as prepared as I wanted to be. I've been a little busy lately, but before I start into what I came up here to talk about, I received an email today. I did a records request for some DVDs, and I can't remember his name, Chris, is that right, Chris? Chris says that it's going to take him 3 to 4 hours to make these DVD dubs. I work in the video business, and he wants to charge me. I work in the video business, and you put the DVD in, you push the tray in, you hit record on your software, and you usually walk away and you go to lunch or you go do something else. And it is absolutely ridiculous that they want me to pay for something that is public information. The reason why I'm here today is because of the expenditures for the advertising for the city by the Zimmerman Agency. I have here 20 pages, and it is a very high amount of money, and there are no descriptions at all of what we're being charged for. And I am formally requesting a detailed descriptions on each charge. There are several places where there's a charge for City of Pensacola website, SEO, which is search engine optimization, and it's spread all over here, but it's the same check number, the same RPPOJE number, the same date, but it's just mixed in different places, and I'm not quite sure why that's happening. If I handed an invoice like this to my clients, they would laugh. They would not pay it. They would go through, and I expect them to go through my invoices line by line. If you have not looked at this, you need to look at this, because this is a lot of money that is being spent with a company that is in Tallahassee, Florida, and I have a problem with this. So in addition to my formal request here tonight for a detailed list of everything in here, I'm also going to email it, and I'm also going to snail mail that formal request. So I would like to make sure that I'm going to get that. Can I ask, I have to address you, I believe. Can I ask who on the council has actually reviewed any of these charges? May I ask that?
I don't know that. Probably a better way of approaching it.
Okay, can you tell me that?
Well, I can't speak for other folks. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think this is I think this is a forum where we're supposed to ask questions.
Okay.
And then we'll get somebody to respond to you. But I don't believe it's the time that we really grill individual council members.
I'm not trying to grill them. I just want to know if they read this, because, I mean, there are some months where there's an $8,000 charge and then a $4,000 charge.
Right.
And we don't know what that's for.
Okay, I believe Councilwoman Myers would like to respond. Councilwoman Myers.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to say that I would be delighted to look at those if you don't mind sharing them with me.
Sure.
Also, I wanted to ask you if you have a copy of the Florida in the Sunshine Manual, and if not, you may want to call the First Amendment Foundation in Tallahassee and discuss the charges of those DVDs with them, because you need to know what your rights are when it comes to those types of issues. And I would suggest getting a copy of the Florida in the Sunshine Manual, and also maybe calling the First Amendment Foundation.
Okay, I will. I hate to admit that I'm as old as I am, but I actually did TV shows when they were trying to pass the Sunshine Law for WSRE, and I think it's one of the best things they did for this state. But I will get the manual. I haven't read it in probably 20 years. I appreciate that.
Well, it's been updated.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Watkins. Okay, next speaker. Following after Mrs. Cheryl Posner, we have Marilyn Muir. Good.
Thank you, Dr. Wu.
Yes, ma'am.
I am here tonight in part because a year ago, on December 15th, there was an interesting occurrence in our meeting upstairs. And in this occurrence, Father Monk and a few other individuals were denied their First Amendment right to speak in a public forum. And it made quite a stir. It went viral on the internet, and Pensacola made history. We took a stand for our First Amendment rights, and for this reason, I believe that this essential document, the Bill of Rights, is the basis upon which we base all of our civic rights as citizens of this country and this city. And for this reason, now this is a coincidental date because you see on December 15th, the Bill of Rights was initially passed today, 221 years ago. And we are having a celebration at the Martin Luther King bust on Palafox on the 15th, which is Saturday. There will be a reading of the Bill of Rights at 2 p.m., and I have given each of you a handwritten invitation to please come and join us to commemorate this very, very important event. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, Marilyn Muir.
Mr. Mueller, I just realized that I had the cards out of order, and the next person is Dixie, is it Meese? No, don't leave, sir. Don't leave, sir. What I'm going to do is ask her permission to allow you to go ahead since you're here already. Is Dixie Meese here? Mice, I'm sorry. Would you object if I let Mr. Marlin go ahead since he's here already? Okay. Yes, sir. I'm
thank you.
sorry.
I'd like to know where the mayor is. The charter is very specific that it's the duty for the mayor to attend all city council meetings. You know, I heard one person tonight say what a good job the mayor is doing, and I have to say some of the things the mayor is doing are just fine. I think if we had a mayor that was concerned with the average citizen, whether he believed that he had to be here or not, he would be here. You know, he no longer has an open door policy. I can't get up to see him. I can't even get in to see the city manager. I've been branded a troublemaker only because I belong to a group that's interested in better government. And that's a goal that we're working towards. It's interesting that the last meeting of 2012, you know, is going to be the one that we look back on in commemoration of the Bill of Rights and of Father Monk being basically escorted out of here by the police. You know, the person that caused the stir, or maybe not caused the stir, but you know, really pushed it, is no longer here. He ran for office, didn't even make it in the primary. There's good reason for that. You step on the people's rights, you don't care about the people, you don't get reelected. That's the message that I'd like to send to the mayor's office. That, you know, more and more we're seeing what's actually happening in the mayor's office. He's forgotten the average person. He's forgotten the many, many of the people. They're the ones that do the voting. You know, we can, you know, there's all kinds of problems with, you know, with finances right now. We can fix those problems. It's a simple answer of you need more taxpayers. You don't, his programs that right now are like if he was building a house for us. We've entrusted him with a whole bunch of money. He's gone out and bought the fixtures for the, fancy fixtures for the bathrooms and the kitchen, but hasn't put a basement or a foundation or walls or a roof in. We're all standing out there taking a shower with no walls. You know, if he would pay attention to the average person, figure out what the average person needs, I think that he might have a chance of being reelected when it comes time, if he even plans to run, which, from what I've seen, I hope doesn't happen. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good evening. I want to welcome our new council people. You all will get to know me, I'm sure, and it is Mize. Might take you a little time to get to it. Anyway.
Be patient with me.
We have been. I'm here this evening. I know you all aren't going to like this, but a couple of months ago, we had an incident with our mayor on one of our gallery nights. I went before the COW right after that, and I didn't ask, I begged not to sweep it under the rug. Guess what? That's what y'all have been doing. Now, Mr. Bear, you have been already elected into office, and I believe you also spoke on that issue, and that you supported, let's find out what's going on. Please stand by your words. Now, I'm going to reiterate what Mr. Mueller said. Where is our mayor? Apparently, he at one time said he'll be at the important meetings. Aren't they all important? But everyone comes to see and put their words out. That's important. I am so saddened to see some of the behavior at the end of the year is going to be maybe carried over to our new year. I support this council. I wouldn't show up for all the meetings if I didn't. But please don't let us down. You know, the mayor had made statements to the paper that was wrong, and nobody's done anything about it. Again, I ask, I'll even beg, hey, you know, when it comes to my community, I will beg. Because if he can take advantage and get away with it, what else is he capable of? Thank you. Oh, and please don't forget December 15th. This is very important. It's because of this I can come here and I can stand here and I can speak without worrying if anything's going to happen to me. One of the most precious gifts that we have is our First Amendment. Good evening and thank you.
Oh, Ms. Meese, hold on, Councilwoman Meyer.
Yes, I want to thank you for coming down tonight, and I just wanted to let you know that I did not sweep anything under the rug in terms of what happened on gallery night. I regret that council made the decision not to go forward with getting sworn statements from anyone who wanted to provide a sworn statement as to what happened. Regarding December the 15th, December the 15th is Bill of Rights Day in the United States. It's celebrated all over the United States in schools and universities and citizens groups. It is the day that the first Congress passed the Bill of Rights 221 years ago. I have for you and anyone else in the audience this little booklet here that's out there in the hallway that has the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution of the United States, and the Bill of Rights. If you would like to have a copy.
I already took one, thank you.
In the audience, they're out there. And thank you very much for coming down here and speaking.
Well, thank you. And maybe we can, because I've seen it come up at the COW, we can get things back up on the agenda. Lord, I've seen it with other things. So maybe the incident with the mayor, if we keep pushing, we can do it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, I believe that's, I don't see any more cards. At this point, we will move on. Next item of business is approval of minutes.
Move the approval.
Okay, we have move approval, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes are approved. The next order of business that we have is awards and presentations. And at this point, I will ask the UWF Argo women's soccer team. Yes.
Normally when we do that, we have to push the button to make sure it is.
You're absolutely correct. I was so excited about giving the proclamation. All right, let us vote on the minutes, approval of minutes. Okay, and that passes unanimously. Okay, now, at this time, if I can ask the UWF women's soccer team, please come forward and with their coach.
Oh, yeah.
Please join me up here. The proclamation is both from myself and the mayor, and it says, whereas the city of Pensacola is proud to be the home to the University of West Florida Argonauts women's soccer team, which distinguished itself on the local, state, and national levels, and whereas through hard work, long hours of practice, determination, and teamwork, the Argonauts women's soccer team demonstrated for their outstanding talent this season, tied most wins in the season with 24, had the second highest best winning percentage with .960, and won their first NCAA Division II National Championship, defeating the University of California, San Diego, 1-0 at the championship held in Evanston, Georgia. And whereas the Argonaut women's soccer team came close to winning the national championship in 2008. However, this is the first NCAA Division II National Championship title for which the University of West Florida Argonaut women's soccer team, under the leadership of Coach Joe Merlinski, I want to make sure I got it right, Coach. And whereas in addition to their outstanding winning season, 3 members of the Argonaut women's soccer team, Celsia Palmer, Sarah Story, Shelby Bush, were also recently honored by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America as All-Americans. And whereas Coach Joe Barkowski is instilled in his players the knowledge and skills development in ball control, passing, and goal shots to become the 2012 NCAA National Championship. And now therefore be it proclaimed by the mayor and the city council of the city of Pensacola, section 1, that the city of Pensacola, on behalf of the citizens of Pensacola, do hereby express our admiration and pride in honoring the accomplishment of these young athletes. Section 2, that in honoring the University of West Florida Argonaut women's soccer team, we salute the excellent teaching and coaching of Coach Joe Barkowski and his staff, and we also recognize the heartwarming encouragement and support the players receive from their families and friends, as well as from their fellow students and administration at the University of West Florida. That a copy of this proclamation will be presented to Coach Joe Barkowski and the University of West Florida Argonaut women's soccer team as an expression of Pensacola's sincere appreciation for their outstanding accomplishment and performance. And with this whereof, we have here to set our hands and cause the seal of the city of Pensacola to be effective this 13th day of December 2012. Ashley Hayward, Mayor, D.C. Wu, President of City Council. Thank you, sir. Okay. Now, if y'all would do something, I'd like to do something different. I'd like to invite the City Council to come join us for the next picture. This is something to get a copy of the picture. Oh, sir. Oh, no, the team. Go Argo. Go Argo. Okay, there we go. Now you can see why I was so excited, Madam Vice President. This first national championship. And when I talked to the team before we started, and I told them that I had taught at UWF for 30 years, and the thing that was almost a little sobering is that when I started teaching at UWF, none of them were born.
Right.
Now, we'll turn it over to Mr. Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, on behalf of the mayor who wanted to be here tonight, he'd like to extend his apologies. As we speak, he's in the process of negotiating what we hope is going to be a major economic development here in the city. This meeting was called just a couple days ago, and we have some very important people from outside the city, and they're meeting right now, so that's why the mayor cannot be here tonight. The Mayor's 2012 Leadership Award. The Mayor's Leadership Award recognizes employees in a senior position who have demonstrated impressive examples of leadership. The selection criteria includes creativity or ability to think outside of the box, resulting in positive changes, motivation and development of staff, effective communication with staff, other department and offices, and the public, innovative programming resulting in organizational or policy change, utilization of goal setting and recognition of goal achievement to reward employees' performance, streamlining processes resulting in improved efficiency and effectiveness of staff and/or enhanced customer service, demonstrated fairness and respect for employees, provide inspiration and vision to others, and shows dedication, passion, and energy in every task. Tonight, Mayor Hayward is pleased to present the 2012 Mayor's Leadership Award to Mr. Jerry Moore, the Director of Sanitation and Fleet Management. Mr. Moore. As Director of Sanitation Services and Fleet Management, Jerry has oversight responsibility for the 60-employee department that provides solid waste collection, fleet management, and code enforcement services throughout the city. Jerry has more than 40 years of solid waste experience, having managed sanitation collection systems for the City of St. Petersburg and the Emerald Coast Utilities Authority prior to joining the City of Pensacola in January of 2004. He holds a bachelor's degree in business management from Eckerd College in St. Petersburg, Florida. He is a graduate of Leadership Pensacola and is a member of Keep Pensacola Beautiful. And if I may, I'd like to share just a very, very quick story about Mr. Moore and his effectiveness. There is a major federal organization that will remain nameless that the City of Pensacola has often had the opportunity to become involved in spirited negotiations with. At one particular meeting, as we were getting ready, it appeared that they were seeking to take away from the city approximately $300,000. This was a pretty big deal. Jerry was essentially the lead of the meeting as we went in to meet with this federal governmental agency. He came in with 2 large binders and sat down quietly, and as the federal management bureaucrats who were sitting in the office with us started in their presentation, Jerry slowly took his glasses off and set them down and began approximately an hour and 25 minutes worth of absolutely incredibly detailed analysis of why they were wrong. At the end of the meeting, the lead negotiator for this large federal bureaucracy leaned over and said, "Would you like to come and work for us?" And very soon after, based upon that meeting and Mr. Moore's effectiveness, that money remained with the City of Pensacola. He is truly a leader in this organization. Everybody knows his abilities. He is extremely quiet and soft-spoken, but man, is he effective. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you.
picture with you, Jerry.
2012 Mayor's Leadership Award presented to Jerry Moore, City of Pensacola, Ashton J. Hayward III, Mayor. Well deserved. The Mayor's 2012 Outstanding Management Award. The Mayor's Outstanding Management Award recognizes employees in middle management positions who have demonstrated impressive examples of supervisory and management skills. Selection criteria include creativity or excellence in management resulting in positive organizational change, motivation and development of staff, including mentoring, training, and education, resulting in increased job satisfaction and/or productivity, effective communication skills, innovative programming resulting in organizational or policy change, utilization of goal setting and recognition of goal achievement to reward employee performance, streamlining processes resulting in improved efficiency and effective of staff and/or enhanced customer service, demonstration of fairness and respect for employees, and ability to problem solve. Tonight, Mayor Hayward is pleased to recognize Dina Fassel, Business Development Administrator, Pensacola Energy, as the recipient of the 2012 Mayor's Outstanding Management Award. As lead staffer in the past year, Dina has successfully completed a major acquisition from Gulf South Pipeline, which includes over 25 miles of pipelines, an office building, and 2 acres of land, 2 new city gate stations, and a new industrial customer, the U.S. Navy. The acquisition produced an annual revenue stream of approximately $300,000 plus significant avoided cost in future pipeline construction and gate station improvements. Another major project that Dina managed is the construction of Pensacola Energy CNG station, compressed natural gas station. She led negotiations with the primary customer, ECUA, and completed a contract which made the business case for the $1.8 million investment. She led negotiations with the station contractor and managed the construction. The result is a new business model that is sure to grow as CNG gains popularity with fleets, an immediate long-term revenue stream in excess of $200,000 per year, and a station that is state-of-the-art. In addition to managing these projects, she took on the added responsibility of the budget management, rate management, and gas supply tasks normally performed by Assistant Administrator Chuck Good, while he dedicated significant time to safety and training after the departure of the Safety and Training Coordinator. She delivers every day in the success of Pensacola Energy. Congratulations. The 2012 Mayor's Outstanding Management Award is presented to Dina Fassel, City of Pensacola, Ashton J. Hayward III, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Employee of the Month. In order to more strongly emphasize the city's commitment to outstanding performance, one employee is recognized every month as Employee of the Month. At this point, if Mr. Gary Creel, professional firefighter, Fire Department, please come forward. And Mr. David Allen is joining in support. The City of Pensacola is proud to recognize Gary as Employee of the Month for December. Starting as an apprentice firefighter in December of '23, Gary has promoted to professional firefighter and has proven to be an asset to the fire department and the community. Firefighter Creel is the program manager for the Florida Department of Transportation Child Safety Car Seat Grant Program in the Pensacola Fire Department. He developed the program for the fire department as well as secured grant funding for the training of 52 fire personnel as Safe Kids USA child passenger safety technicians. In addition, he and another firefighter attended several national courses to attain the instructor certification, which in turn they used to certify members of the fire department. As a result of this training, 178 car seats have been installed between 5 city fire stations. Another accomplishment by firefighter Creel, as it pertains to the car seat program, is he developed and submitted a car seat grant concept paper to seek additional funding for the car seat program. This effort was rewarded with a sub-grant in the amount of $17,850, which will fund the purchase of a trailer to perform mobile car seat installations, a graphic wrap for the trailer, and training aids for the certification course. Because of his hard work, knowledge, and commitment, we are proud to recognize firefighter Gary Creel as December's Employee of the Month. Each month, we have employees who reach milestones in their careers with the city. These milestones, which are observed at 5-year intervals, are symbols of commitment, hard work, and dedication in serving the people of Pensacola. Employees are the city's most important asset. As part of the city team, they individually and jointly seek ways to improve the quality and efficiency of services to every citizen. Tonight, we have the opportunity to publicly recognize and thank this special group of employees. As I call your names, would you please come forward and receive an award of the city's appreciation and be recognized by both the City Council and the members of your community. 5 years, Jerry Dennis, Heating, Ventilator, Air Conditioning, and Refrigeration Technician 1, Public Works. Jerry's military experience, great personality, and team player spirit, coupled with his willingness to always improve his knowledge of the HVAC trade, makes him a valuable asset to the department and the city of Pensacola.
Thank you.
And I dare say you will find a more personable individual, even when he's in the middle of working on something. I run into him on a couple occasions with literally his hands up in the middle of a ductwork, and he never fails to turn around and give a great greeting.
You want to stop? I think you might. I saw it come up, so I didn't interrupt you. Thank you.
Also for 5 years, Don Milton III, professional firefighter, Fire Department. Don has excelled at his job and provides enthusiastic service to the community. He has been recognized for his willingness to be a team player and continues to be an asset to the department. Don has exhibited tremendous pride in performing his duties and is expected to make major contributions to the organization in the future. Thank you very much, Don. For 15 years, Rebecca Donahue, Administrative Officer, Financial Services. Rebecca has served the last 14 years in the purchasing office, where she has been given ever-increasing roles and responsibilities. She is the main point of contact between the purchasing office, vendors, and other city departments. She provides information about the city's purchasing process, the status of bids, and the city's SBE program in a courteous and effective manner. In addition, Rebecca has vital roles in the creation and distribution of formal bids and solicitations. She has taken on greater duties with the retirement of a longtime purchasing employee without hesitation. She always provides a friendly greeting and assistance to anyone visiting the Financial Services Department. Rebecca is a valuable team member. Congratulations, Rebecca.
Okay, thank you. The last recognition we have now is I'll ask Councilman Baird, please join me, please. Recently, City Councilman Baird attended and completed the 2012 Institute for Elected Municipal Officials sponsored by the Florida League of Cities. And I would strongly encourage all our colleagues here to do the same if you have the opportunity. And the league has asked that this certificate be presented to Councilman Baird at a council meeting, and I am more than pleased to do so. Thank you very much, Councilman. Okay, at this stage, we now move to public hearing. Madam Clerk.
There are none.
Okay, next is quasi judicial hearings, Madam Clerk.
There are none.
There are none. Now we move into the mayor's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, Mr. Barker will deliver his November 2012 monthly report.
Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. Mr. President, members of City Council, Monday I delivered the September preliminary report as it related to fiscal year 12. This is the first month in fiscal year 13 that I report on, and with that, I'll just proceed with the report. Our revenues and all these revenues measurements have been based on the adjustments that are in the resolution before council tonight. Our franchise fees and public service taxes are about 0.5% down. The half-cent sales tax is about 4% up. Communication services tax is about 11% down. And the municipal revenue sharing is about 1% up. Now, in total dollars, that's only $24,000 down that we're looking at. And most of these are one-month collections that we've received. Local option sales tax is up about 5%. Local option gasoline tax is down about 21%. And then the balances for your tree planting trust fund is $674,000. Park purchase is $38,000. And the economic development trust fund is $195,000. And then just issues that continues to be out there are the pension issues and the union negotiations that are currently going on. And then just a list of the contracts. This is for 2 months. These contracts that have been issued since October. Pensacola Lock and Safe out at the airport, total cost of $42,125. InfraSend, that's for bills that go out from ESP. This is second year of a 3-year contract, $300,000. Respect to Florida, it's 2 of 5 years out at the airport for $500,000. Intervista Consulting LLC, 2 of a 5-year agreement for $124,000 out at the airport also. To Escambia County, Npdes Stormwater Management Fee Permit, this is year 5. For their service is $50,000. Executive Landscape, it's year 3 of a 3-year contract. For $26,622. This is at the airport also. One Source Lawn Service LLC is general mowing and landscaping out the airport for $61,000. Yamaha Motor Corporation, 2 of a 4-year golf cart lease contract at Osceola Golf Course for $46,920. Law office is John Asmar for professional services in the mayor's office, $120,000. Sonny Callahan and Associates, airport consulting services for $61,000. TWF LLC Communication Services, $60,000. Quan Software Engineering Digital Evidence Management Software for Police Department, $31,269. Lou Ray Jr. Legal Service Special Magistrate for your code enforcement, $30,200. Motorola Solutions first quarter for the 800 megahertz system, $74,048. Diamond and Concrete Sanders Beach ramp repair for $33,654. William D. Wells Code Enforcement Legal Services for $42,000. B&H Photo Video for video equipment, $26,556. Floyd Brothers at the Tracon at the airport, $44,517. Floyd Brothers, again, general aviation parking expansion for $36,615. Advanced Control Concepts, and this is added security system and equipment for ESP gate stations, $90,400. Nortrax Incorporated, small tractor purchase off of the Sheriff's contract for $45,036. Hub City Ford Mercury for the purchase of medium and light duty trucks for $234,184. Vigilant Solutions license plate readers at the police department, $30,000. Fed Light Supply LLC, lighting equipment at the airport, $124,080. CDW Government Incorporated, email archive software and hardware, $68,324. Hub City Ford Mercury, unmarked Ford Expedition purchase, $26,830. And with that, that ends my report and all the purchases. And for council and the public, all this is online. Thank you, sir.
Okay, is there any questions? Thank you very much, Mr. Parker. Okay, moving next, is there any other items under mayor communications?
That concludes the mayor's report.
Okay,
Mr.
thank you very
President.
much, Mr. Reynolds. Okay, next we'll move into council communications. Okay, Vice President Canada Wynn.
Yeah, I guess I can do it at this time. I wanted to thank the District 7 voters for their support in voting for me, and I wanted to let them know that we will have a scheduled District 7 meeting on the 31st of January. Fifth Thursday, we will have at least 4 of them per year, and it'll be in different locations throughout District 7, and they will get notices of these meetings, and I'm looking forward to my work in District 7. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Council Vice President. I have been very remiss. I've done this in our workshop, but this is our very first council meeting, and I've been remiss in not welcoming 3 new members to this council. Councilman Tahar, Councilman Bear, Councilman Wingate, and returning Councilwoman Jewel Canada Wynn. I probably should have started a meeting with that. I'm learning as I go, and but I believe y'all bring an awful lot of energy and talent to the council, and we're more than happy to have each and every one of you with us. Next, Councilman Johnson.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. President. I'd like to notify everybody that this Saturday at Bayview Park, at the boat launch that Clean and Green, DEP, I think Gulf Power participates, and others, there'll be an oyster reef building session there at the boat launch there at beautiful Bayview Park in District 4. The event will happen from 8:30 to 11:30. Bring gloves, be able to do a little bit of work. Should hopefully be a nice day. Might want to wear something warm. But it's a thing they've been doing for a while. DEP and Clean and Green been building these oyster reefs, and it helps with water quality in Bahia de Har. And the oyster shells that are placed there come from local restaurants all over our area. They donate these oyster shells, and then they're placed with reefs. They're built reefs there in the bayou, and don't end up in our landfill. And they recycle other oysters attached to them, and they grow and live. It's a very worthwhile project, and we're real excited that this is continuing on. So if you have nothing to do Saturday morning, come on out at 8:30 to 11:30 and help with building oyster reefs in Bayou de Har. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Johnson. Councilwoman Myers?
Thank you, Mr. President. I had the opportunity yesterday morning to go to the opening of the Fresh Market on Airport and 9th Avenue and Cordova Commons. That's where the new Marshalls is, and Ulta, and a lot of some other new developments. It was an absolutely incredible event. If you've never been to a Fresh Market, you're really missing something. This is a store that is very unique. We are extremely privileged and lucky, I think, to have this store here in Pensacola. I think it's going to be a real destination. At 8 o'clock in the morning, people were streaming in there to go shopping. By the time I left, the store was packed out. They have foods there and that you can't find anyplace else. And I just want to show you something real quick, okay? Just to give you an example. I need to take this out of here too, because it's a little smelly and it's burning my eyes. Does anybody know what this is? I already told you, you don't have it. This is a lemon. It's called a Buddha hand. See all those little fingers? Oh, and it smells very citrusy. Well, I got this at the Fresh Market the other day. I have a friend. It's actually going to be a Christmas gift. I hope she isn't watching tonight. But she loves lemon, so she'll get plenty of lemony flavors out of this. But we are very privileged in this whole region to have this store, and they located here in Pensacola, and I just want to let them know how proud we are of them and thank them for locating here and also creating about 90 new jobs. So if you have the opportunity, get out there and do some shopping in Uptown and buy a I'm going to have to get rid of this.
Where are they located?
It's located on 9th and Airport in the Cordova Commons. This smells like a lemon because it is a lemon. So I'm going to put it in our little kitchenette back there so that people don't have to smell lemons all night. Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
President.
thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Tarr.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to say that I'm excited to be here, and I'm really ready to serve, and I'm looking forward to it. The other thing I wanted to say was, in our consent agenda from the COW meeting, we approved the PCIP grants, and I just wanted to reiterate from last time that there's some left over from last year, some left over from this year, so I just feel like we really need to encourage our associations to start really stepping up and asking for more money. So I just want to say that. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Councilman Spencer.
Thank you. 2 items. One, I was happy to see distributed to all council members in our packet a letter from the Office of the State Attorney that is a response to Councilwoman Meyer's complaint alleging possible violations of the Florida Sunshine Law. I was one of those that was named in that complaint, and I'm happy to say that the Chief Assistant State Attorney has stated no further action is needed regarding this matter. And what this does is allow me to spend more time visiting places like Fresh Market so I can pick up some of this new lemon product. All right, number 2, I want to tell everyone that this Saturday at 1 p.m., our Belmont Youth Band will be performing at the Community Maritime Park. So that is an inner-city youth band spearheaded by an incredible leader in our community, Vivian Lamont, Miss Vivian Lamont. The board of directors is growing. The youth needs our support. And so if Saturday you want to see some of Pensacola's finest youth musicians this Saturday, and they also will be the guest performers. Some of them will be performing next Tuesday at the Downtown Rotary Club as for a guest appearance at their Christmas luncheon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilman Spencer. Councilman Bear.
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple things. I want to know how Councilwoman Myers is going to wrap that Buddha hand as a gift, because it's going to be a little bit odd. But and I also don't. It may not last till Christmas. You may have to buy another one. I was also at the Fresh Market event, and I got there really early because I had to be over at the TPO meeting at 9. So I went and was briefly there with Councilman Johnson. And it is an amazing store in there. And one of the things I think is great about it is the fruit actually looks like real fruit. It's not polished up and shiny. It looks like something you could have picked off your tree. And it shows me that's pretty fresh and that some of it is local. I mean, they call local Louisiana. Depending on which map you look at from the Zimmerman Agency, that might actually be truly local, but we'll leave that one for another day. But they do have some local produce there. And I will also mention tomorrow there's an event happening that we probably, most of us can't go to if we go to the Legion Field groundbreaking for the resource center there. This is going to sound kind of silly, but there's apparently a mascot for seatbelt and booster safety called Ollie the Otter, and it's a program from Tennessee Tech University, and for the first time they're going to be having a presentation. It happens in elementary schools, and it's the first time they'll be doing it in Florida. And from what they say, Ollie the Otter is like Smokey the Bear when it comes to booster seat and seatbelt safety, and it's going to be tomorrow at 10:30 at Texas Tech. And you know, we've been invited, and I think it'll be a great thing because I know a lot of people don't use booster seats, and I know it's funny because I have three boys, and none of them have to be in booster seats now, but we were, you know, we've been in booster seats for a long time with our kids. And I think about when I was a child, and I just sat there and usually didn't even have a seatbelt on, and we were just lucky. But I think we really need to emphasize Florida is not one of those states that requires booster seats, and we really need to be vigilant about encouraging people to use them for the safety of our children. So I think it's a great program that's coming here. And I also wanted to briefly comment on this Institute for Elected Municipal Officials. I want to thank the Mayor's Office and Mr. Reynolds for giving us the opportunity to go. I was not even a council member yet when I went to this event, and they covered the cost of going to the event. And it was a great opportunity to learn from some seasoned veterans in different municipal offices, whether it be city managers, in some cases attorneys, and hearing things about sunshine law and all the things that are required of us as elected officials, and also getting to talk to other people who serve in other cities about things that happen in their cities. And it's interesting to compare notes on the situation we have here versus what they may have in their particular city. And so I think it's a great opportunity. And as far as I was told, the only two that are currently on the council that have been are myself and Councilman Wu. And so I would encourage all of you, if you have the opportunity, to go to that, because I think it's a great opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilman. Okay, Councilwoman Pratt.
I just wanted to share with Mr. Bear that you might check with Gary Creel, who we just shook hands with, because I know that my daughter, who is 10, just aged or just heighted out of a booster seat. And I know my son's in your son's class, and they're not quite out of them. You might check with him. He'll give you some good scoop on booster seats. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? Okay. Moving on, next we have petitions. Madam Clerk?
There are none.
Okay. Then that brings us to consent agenda. Consent agenda were the items that were unanimously passed by the City Council at the Committee of Whole meeting this past Monday, December 10th. I'm now asked if there is a motion to move the consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a move and second, okay. At this time, I need to ask if there's any council member that has any item they'd like to pull. Okay. All right, if not, in that case, if you would please vote. Okay, and that passes unanimously. That brings us now to report of the Committee of Whole. The report of the Committee of Whole contains items which did not pass unanimously in the meeting on December 10th, 2012. The first item that we had was Airport Work Order Number 2, Hatch McDonald, Florida, LLC, Design Service Rehabilitation of Parking Garage, and that motion passed 8-1. Councilwoman Myers dissent. What is your pleasure?
Move the approval.
Okay,
Second.
move to second. All right, any discussion? Okay, any discussion among audience? All right, please vote. Okay, and that passes unanimously. Item 2 underneath this area is award bid 13-001, Pensacola International Airport Covered Walkway. Excuse me, the council award a contract to Hughes and Company LLC. Excuse me, the lowest and most responsible bid in the amount of $911,059 for the construction of Pensacola International Airport Covered Walkway project plus a 10% contingency.
Move the approval.
Okay, been moved and second. Okay, any discussion? Yes, Councilman Tarr.
I just wanted to remind everybody that I will be abstaining again because of my conflict with Hughes and Company.
Okay. All right, any other discussion in council? Any discussion in audience? Okay, please vote.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so that passes by a vote of 8-4, 1 abstention. Okay. At this time, I turn the chair over to Councilman Spencer, who's the chair of the Community Redevelopment Agency.
Thank you. The Community Redevelopment Agency met Monday. Items included approval of minutes, election of CRA chair and vice chair. Brian Spencer was elected CRA chair. Vice chair elected was Councilwoman Megan Pratt. Consideration of forgiveness of CMPA loan for Hunter Amphitheater, back of the house. Action item occurred. Motion was made. Mr. President, would you like me to read that motion?
Please.
Okay. Community Redevelopment Agency Board extend term of the CMPA loan with CRA for 8 months with the specified maturation date of September 15th, 2013, provided that the CMPA present a plan for repayment before September 15th, 2013, specifying sources of revenue and continued operations pending approval from the 3 community development entities. Motion carried unanimously. Next action item, consideration of amendments to economic development agreement with disposition of property between CRA and City of Pensacola, CRA of Pensacola and Hicksart. Motion was made that the Community Redevelopment Agency approve amendments affecting closing date and financing deadline, extending both dates to April 2nd, 2013. That motion passed unanimously. Next action item, date and time of future CRA board meetings. Motion by CRA members allowing the CRA chair to set the date and time for all future CRA board meetings. The motion passed 6-3 with members Wu, Johnson, and Tahar dissenting. Final action item, Downtown Technology Park interlocal agreement. CRA requested that Mayor commence discussions with Chamber of Commerce regarding conditions and terms specified in the interlocal agreement. That motion passed unanimously. That ends my report.
Thank you very much, Chairman Spencer. Okay, moving on. Madam Clerk, ordinance is on the first reading.
There are none.
Okay. Ordinance is on the second reading.
Item 15A is proposed ordinance number 26-12, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending the code of the City of Pensacola, Florida, amending provisions of the Deferred Retirement Option Plan, amending Section 9-9-4G for reducing interest earned percentage for the General Pension and Retirement Plan, amending Section 9-9-4H for not allowing cost of living increases for the General Pension and Retirement Plan, providing for applicability of ordinance, providing for severability, repealing clause, providing an effective date.
Move the approval.
Okay, we have moved to second discussion. Audience, please vote. Okay, unanimous. Madam Clerk, item B, or 15B.
Item 15B is proposed ordinance number 27-12, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending Section 12-12-7 of the Code of the City of Pensacola, Florida, amending license to use right-of-way regulations, providing for severability, repealing clause, providing an effective date.
Move the approval.
Second.
Okay, moved and second. Any discussion on council? There's a Mr. Walter Gully Jr. that would like to speak to this item.
Council President, that should be item C.
Okay, now, they wrote down 15B. We'll defer to them. Thank you, sir. Okay, please vote. And that's unanimous. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Item 15C is proposed ordinance number 28-12, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance providing for the authorization and approval of the application of the municipal services tax and unit for library services within the city limits of the City of Pensacola, providing for severability, repealing clause, providing an effective date.
Move the approval.
Okay, moved to second. Any discussion on council? Okay, Mr. Gully.
Council President Wu to Vice President Canada Wynn. First, let me congratulate the new board members, Councilman Bear, Councilman Tahar, Councilman Wingate, as well as returning Councilwoman Canada Wynn. I am here tonight as it relates to an item that has been on discussion board for several meetings concerning the West Side Library. And what I wanted to say tonight, I wanted to reiterate this more especially for those who were not on the board at that time. Let me commend you for coming up with a temporary solution to this issue. But I do want to remind you of the proposal or suggestion I made to you regarding a state-of-the-art quality library for the West Side branch. And what I said to you in a meeting about a month ago was that let's not let that half-cent sales tax money lapse before putting a first-rate library in that community. I know there's some discussion about creating better sidewalks, putting a red light there and that kind of thing. And that's a temporary fix, because when you start talking about children crossing Cervantes Street, that's not a good fix. But there is some property that is available in that area. And what I suggested was for the next 4 years, while the sales tax is in hand, that the council began setting aside a certain amount of money each year out of that sales tax money, where we then will be able to build a first-rate library in that particular community. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to each of you.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Gully. Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, please vote. Okay, and that passes unanimously. Okay. Resolutions, Madam Clerk.
Item 16A is resolution number 62-12, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution authorizing and making revisions and appropriations for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2013, providing for an effective date.
Move the approval.
Second.
Okay, move to second. Any discussion on council? Audience? All in favor? Please vote. Okay, that's unanimous. Madam Clerk, 16B.
Item 16B is resolution number 63-12, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Pensacola recommending that Project Mountain be approved as a qualified target industry business pursuant to Section 288.106 Florida statutes, providing for a local match by the city in an amount not exceeding $30,000 as the City of Pensacola's portion of local participation in the Qualified Target Industry Tax Refund Program for fiscal years 2013 through 2015, providing for an effective date.
Move the approval.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion among council? Audience, please vote. Okay, that brings us now to, yes, Councilwoman Pratt.
Buzzing for unfinished business.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair.
But before you begin,
Okay.
someone has suggested for this portion and the next portion that if we have unfinished business, that we put it in the form of a motion, but I don't know, if that will, this is just in terms of moving us on to get things solidified, but we'll just give it a try and see what happens.
All right, and so I have two items.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One, I would like to get some feedback, and I'll explain before I make a motion.
Sure.
And the second, I'll explain it and then make a motion. The first item is, I was remiss when we were doing assignments to committees. We have also the Complete Streets Subcommittee that has 5 members and 5 council members and 2 have cycled off. And so when we formed that committee, it was formed by just the council president saying, you, and you, you're on the committee in case there were any objections. And so I didn't know if there were 2 new council members who were interested in being on that committee. And if so, I don't even know if we need to have, I see 2 hands waving, so I will make a motion that we appoint Councilman Baer and Councilman Tahar to the Complete Streets Committee.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Okay, and that passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Welcome aboard. We're going to have fun. The second item is something that I think we fall into a challenge with not having resolved some of our procedural issues. As you may recall, about a month and a half ago, I brought to the council the idea of looking into a municipal charter school. And the council had a vote to direct the mayor's office to issue an RFP for that gathering information. I received an email today that there is a contract that has been revised. I've been working with Mr. Merritt in the mayor's office on this, and I just got the email today that with this one firm, and they were interested in moving forward on this contract. I looked back. It looks like we only approved looking for a proposal, and we didn't, while we discussed funding for it, we didn't actually approve funding at that time. And I apologize that you all don't have this information before you. It just clicked on for me as I came in tonight that we might need to take action on that. And so I guess I will just make it in the form of a motion and we can have discussion. I can tell you more about the proposal. I move that we
authorize the mayor's office to contract with EdVision schools in an amount not to exceed $12,000 to provide a feasibility study on creating a municipal charter school.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so it's moved and second. Discussion. Okay, Councilwoman, Vice President, I'm sorry.
Yes, if there's any other information that you have, since I wasn't on the council
Okay.
at that time, I would like to have that. I know that the idea of a charter school may sound great, but with some of the other needs that I have in District 7, I would not want to necessarily allocate dollars towards the possibility of a charter school with some of the other needs that I have in my district. So I would just really need some more information on it.
Okay, Councilwoman Myers.
I won't be able to support the motion either. I look at all the needs that communities have in my district. I watched about maybe 20 children getting off of a school bus on Burgess Road at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Cars lined up along Burgess Road, parents having no place to park except in the middle of the street. I would like to see, money used to do some traffic calming and studies on that particular street, given the number of children that are unloaded on that street. So, I mean, I'm not inclined to support this allocation of funds for this purpose.
Okay, I don't, yes, Councilman Spencer.
Thank you. Former council members may recall I spoke in support of Councilwoman Pratt's request for an allocation of funding in order to conduct this study and for municipal charter school. I continue to, I restate my support tonight for the study, and I just hope that other council members will follow me, and basically my logic is that such a study does not displace funding for needs such as repairing sidewalks throughout the entire city in all of our districts. I see this as potentially a very effective economic development event, an economic development sort of event that provides additional funding in the future. I'm looking way beyond what does this prevent this year. Instead, I see it as what will this deliver in multiple ways years from this, perhaps the opening of a municipal school. Finally, after we spoke of this, this topic several council meetings ago, I received several positive comments from people that stated how pleased they were that this council was moving forward to support such a study. So I'm in full support of it.
Okay, Councilman Bear.
Thank you, Mr. President. This issue, I've heard a little bit about it, and I've had some discussions with members of school board administration about the possibility of having a municipal charter school, and I'm not convinced it's the direction the city needs to go in, so I'm not going to be supporting this time.
Thank you very much. Councilman Wingate.
I'd like to say I'm in support of it. We've had several schools closed in the downtown area, and this would be an opportunity to cut out some of the busing and have some of the people be able to attend a school that's local in their neighborhood.
Okay, anybody else on council? I have one card from Clifford Stokes. Mrs. Stokes.
I'm Clifford Stokes, 7480 Rolling Hill Road. I'm a taxpayer in this city. I don't live in the city. to me, this is a waste of city money. We have one charter school already in Pensacola, even though it's failing. Then you have this new school that the school board opened, a model school that's right behind where God Power used to be. Why are we spending money doing a survey for a charter school? Are we creating a private school system? We're paying tax money for the school board to run a school system. Why is the city getting involved with running a school system and spending our taxpayers' money to survey a school system? That's what the school board is for, not the city council. Let that be done by the school board, and you guys run the city of Pensacola. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Councilwoman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, or Mr. President. I wanted to address a couple of comments. First to Councilwoman Jilkana Wynn's questions. This is no way is meant to answer all of your questions, and I hope that you will speak with Mr. Merritt further, because I know how much you care about education. And so I just wanted to let everyone know what this proposal entails. It is primarily a proposal to gather information. Before we make any decision, we need information. And so I'll just briefly read what they're going to do is research the charter school process, investigate potential enrollment, investigate potential facilities, gather information from city government and community leaders, present a budget analysis of how this kind of school would be funded, look at what kind of school it could be, and make recommendations on the next steps, and provide a final report in person. The intent of this is, let's just look at it, see what it could be for this community. And to address the comments about from the public was, there are charter schools that are failing, and we also have charter schools in this community that are succeeding. The Pensacola Beach Charter School is a model of a great charter school for a community. And this is not a private school. We are a public body. It is a public school. Cities across the state have public municipal charter schools. It's a way for a city to take sort of control of its own destiny. The thing I hear repeatedly is education is what holds back economic development, particularly for the city. And if we can try to address that through a charter school, that is one tool. I'm not saying at this point that we will do it. I just need information, and it's something that it's information that we don't have readily available. And so rather than try to get staff to find this information, this provides a skilled workforce to do it. And so I hope that council will support this tonight and keep their minds open as we move forward on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Mr. Walter Gilney.
President Wu, I am an educator in the Escambia County School District, and I must admit this sounds a little fishy. I know that there are areas where they set up charter schools for specific areas targeting specific groups. There are several charter schools in Pensacola already. So I agree with Mr. Stokes. Why would the city even entertain the notion of getting involved in a school system without it almost sounding like it's earmarked for the downtown area, to be real frank about it? So I think that we need to take a close look at this and identify what is the real purpose of having or wanting another charter school here. Maybe we should look at that before going any further.
Thank you very much. Okay, anybody else in the audience? Anybody on council? Okay, please vote.
One, two, three, four, five.
So it passes on a vote of 5-4. Okay. Okay, anything else under unfinished business?
I have my light on, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman Myers. Councilman Myers.
I don't know if this falls under unfinished business or new business, but I'll throw it out there anyway.
Sure.
We have a number of openings on the CMPA. I resigned today because I'm just on too many boards. The two that I'm on now, appointed by the City Council and others in the community. I can't devote the kind of time it takes to address the issues that the CMPA is faced with. So with my resignation, I believe Dr. Pratt resigned. Dick Baker resigns. I know we have those three. I have had citizens contact me who are interested in serving on the CMPA. We still have applications from citizens who wanted to serve the last time we had openings, and I asked that their applications be retained. We have some very talented people. Mr. Gunther, who has served on the Operations and Audit Committee, has, I think, been nominated or wants to be nominated to serve on the CMPA. So I think the motion I'm going to make is that we let whatever process the clerk uses to accept applications for our board, commission, and authorities, that be published and give people the opportunity to contact us if they want to be nominated, and that we fill those positions at the next committee of the whole. That's my motion.
Very good. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any, Councilman Spencer?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, anybody else? Okay, please vote. Okay, so that passes 8-1. Before I move on or acknowledge any other speaker, let me thank Councilwoman Pratt and Councilwoman Myers for their service on the CMPA. What a lot of folks who are watching this on TV may not realize, Councilwoman Myers started going to CMPA meetings before she was ever elected to City Council. I mean, it's hard enough to get folks who are on council to go. This predated the time that she even came on council. And of all the people that attended those meetings, I don't know of anybody that was probably more faithful than she was. Yeah, because as a concerned citizen and her love for the city, she gave up her own time and energy to go down. And I just want to commend you for doing that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, any other, we're in new business now, any other new business? Okay, that moves us now to, Councilman Wingate.
Yes, I wanted to find out what happened to the 4-cent sales tax. We had a letter on that. The gas tax, 4 cents. It's not in today's packet, but we had it at the committee of the whole, and I think it was either withdrawn or...
Right. The reason it's not before us is that it was withdrawn at that time. Now, Mr. Reynolds, I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there any enlightenment?
No, sir, I can enlighten us a little bit. We have every belief that it will be at the next committee of the whole.
Right. That's why I was a bit puzzled, because I didn't know the answer to provide you. Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. Okay. Now, Mr. Spencer light appears on. Has it just not been cleared, or do you have?
We can clear it.
Okay. Okay, now we're to open forum. And I do not see any blue cards in front of me. And in that case, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move the approval. Second.
Okay.
That's a record. And I even had 2 unfinished
Golly, I told Heather I was out here at 8:30.